drums, you have keyboards, you have brass instruments. I mean, I've got a saxophone, um, an instrument like a piano accordion, which is based on a piano, but much more difficult because you've got to keep pulling the bellows like that. So, so there's me thinking, well, I'm doing this from nothing, and I'm going to end up with that. Actually, I am simply and literally, if you like, well, almost literally, standing on the shoulders of brilliant people, nameless, numberless individuals going back, in some cases, hundreds or thousands of years. So that's why we say no one can make a pencil. So what is your view of what we've said what I've said so far? Do you feel that anything you do is purely your work, or is everything you do you think, based on the achievements of other people? What do you think?
Well, I think before I answer that question, I just want to talk about the album. Is it, how do you pronounce
Oh
it?
yeah,
Troubadour? Trub, Troubadour?
Troubadour. Yeah, a troubadour is
Troubadour.
a guy,
Troubadour.
a guy or a woman walking around playing their guitar, a bit like a mobile busker. They don't stay in one place; they walk around.
Yeah, Troubadour. I've seen something similar where, um, obviously on the internet, on Facebook preferably, specifically, this guy, he's got all these musical instruments strapped to himself. And
Yeah, that's a one-man band, isn't it?
yeah,
He's got a pedal which he kicks his leg, and the bass drum hits, and so, yeah, very clever people who do that.
and he's moving around and he moves his hand and then the drum goes off and then, you know,
Yeah.
all these things. And I thought, at first I thought, what a waste of time. And then I thought about the work that he must have put into that to get to that stage. And I thought, even though he might not necessarily be my cup of tea, or might be one of those that think, what's the point in that? To quite a lot of people, it is
Mm.
something that they would enjoy. They find it intriguing. They find it, you
Mm.
know, and as such, not everybody, we don't all have a similar taste in be it entertainment, music, or whatever, sports, if sports even.
Mm.
Speaking to somebody yesterday, well, I wouldn't say his name, but and I think I'm friends with his partner. And then we, got to meet him. And we was just talking to him yesterday, and oh yeah, so what kind of sports do you like? I'm not a sports person. And I thought, wow. I thought, not even football, no. Basketball, no. Cricket, no. I just don't do sports. And I thought,
Mm.
wow. And then I thought, right, what about music? Because I was just trying to find a common grounds to
Mm.
start a conversation with him. And I said, what about music? And he said, I used to do music, years and years ago. And I thought, for 1 second, I thought he was referring to making music, the process. So I said, wow, that's great, because I thought, well, finally, a common ground.
Mm.
And I said, so making music. I said, wow. He said, no, not making music. I used to listen to music. And I thought, you don't even listen to music now?
Mm. Weird.
I know. And I thought, you don't even listen to music now? He said, no. And I was struggling then. I thought, right, I've got to find something. I refuse to give up. I've got to
Mm.
find something that I have in common with this guy. With this guy. That was the second time that I was meeting him anyway. And I said, right, what about writing? Because I know his partner writes fictional things, and she does. And she said, she showed me a book once. She said, look, I wrote this book. And I thought, wow, nice. I didn't get to read it. I said you ought to make more than one copy of that, to hand out to people. There might be people that
Mm.
find it interesting. So I thought surely you. And I was talking to the guy now. I said you must have something in common with your wife, like writing. And he sat there and thought for a minute, and he thought, no, not really. I thought, whoa. And this time, the partner
He
noticed that I
doesn't.
was.
He doesn't sound. He doesn't sound the most content, happiest of people. This does he? I'm sure he is, but there we are.
And this time, I could feel the partner was then thinking, right, I don't want him to think, I don't want me to think that her partner was a total, you know, no fun
Mm.
guy. Let's put it that way. And she said, "Oh, you used to like drawing, didn't you? You used to draw all these." I said, "Wow, okay." I said, "Oh," he said, "Yeah, I don't do it anymore."
What does he do? What does he do these days?
So he said, "Well, no, I don't do it anymore." And I thought, right. I thought, so you don't like sports, you don't like music, not even listening to it. You don't like creative writing. I said, there's got to be one thing at least, one thing. Give me something here. Give me something. And he said to me, he said, well, I do coding.
He does
Um,
what?
he does
Say
coding.
again. Oh,
Coding.
coding.
Yeah, so this computer language thing,
Mm.
C++, Python and all that. And I thought, oh, I hope everybody that does this coding thing and not like
Yeah.
like this kind of, but I know straight away. I started creating a profile of of of,
Mm.
of him in my head, and I thought, right, okay, so because I remember when I was building these websites, because I did it all by myself, and oof, I thought I couldn't even catch a break.
Mm.
So something was always going wrong, and I'm like, oh, I've got to go back and do this now.